Fantastic Four 2025. We're gonna dig in. Might be some spoilers in here, and then we'll throw on some whatever else we can think of. All right, but let's get it started.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Episode number 484. Oh, Moose, Magic Mike, Game God, breaking down Fantastic Four, at least the best way we know how.
Yes.
Anything you want to add to tonight's dishes here? I mean, anything you think about?
Well, you know, we can always talk about the trailers that was or the trailer that wasn't.
Oh, I mean, I really didn't have any good trailers in mind. I mean, there was nothing. There's nothing.
Well, I guess you could say there was or there wasn't. I want to bring up one trailer that I was surprised to see.
All right, let me hear it. Lay it on me.
And it won't be a surprise to you guys because we've probably seen this trailer already in two different forums. But there was the new Avatar trailer.
Okay, I had that one.
You did have that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did have that one as well.
What was it? Fire and Ash, I think is what
Fire
it's called.
and Ash.
Fire and
Yeah,
Ash.
I felt like I was watching Dragons.
Well, it's so okay. So I like how you're leading this, right? So a couple of weeks ago, we saw a trailer for another movie called How to Train Your Dragon,
Right.
and I was like, I thought this movie came out already. And I saw that this was Avatar. So wasn't this film supposed to come out in like 2023 or something like that?
Like delayed. Yeah.
So I felt like it was the same movie that just came out. The one with I guess it was in water. What was it called?
Something water, yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
never saw it. Did you see
Water
it?
World? What is it? What is it called?
Water World. It's
Water
not that
World.
one.
No?
Was
Okay.
Kevin Costner in it? I don't-
Yeah, exactly. Best movie out there. I would tell you that it looked like the same movie, except now they're flying in fire dragons and whatnot. And are they fighting each other now? Like that's the other piece I didn't understand.
I didn't understand that either. I guess it's what it looks like, but then again, it looked like there was like a half alien, half human
Yeah.
kid.
Oh, that's the son. That's the son. That's their son. That was in the second one. So the point I bring it up, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I bring it up because these three movies should all came out within a year apart. And if they would have came out when the first Avatar came out, then a year apart, it would have been blockbuster, right? But because this thing has taken so much time to develop, there's no relevance for it. And if it wasn't because there was a ride at Disney that promoted this,
I was actually surprised that they actually built a little, world for it at
Yeah.
Disney. I was surprised.
well, I mean that's the only reason why I think Disney's like we should have rethought that one. How much is long? How
What
much
do
is
you
on
think
that
the opening
contract?
weekend is going to be on? What was the opening weekend for the second one?
Oh, call me on the spot. But I think the opening weekend for the first one was like
It was
200 million. Three was crazy, right?
Yeah, it was
I'll tell
big,
you right
right?
now.
Well, while
Yeah.
he's looking at that, Moose, for me, the trailer of the Avatar trailer for me at the movie, they had all these other trailers, then they had a commercial, and then they made like this was the big trailer to do trailer. I'm like, I'm not seeing anything new.
Yeah, I
the
didn't see anything new
same.
either.
Yeah, like to Game God's point, if they would have released these, maybe not a year, but maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years apart, because the technology and what he had shown was impressive at that time. Now
Right.
it's not.
Now it's not.
It's the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it almost looks like something that we see on TV that we can get better. Way of the Water is what it was called, and it opened domestically at 134 million opening weekend.
Oof.
But where it made its money was global, worldwide. It did 441 in its opening weekend.
That's not bad.
Is that good?
No, well, I'm just saying it's not bad.
It probably costs more to make.
Well, they filmed it at the same
you know it
time.
did.
Yeah.
Did they film
So
at the
yeah,
same
they
time?
did.
I don't
So
think so.
Yeah, that's what I had read. They filmed at the same time, and they were just basically just adding.
So who made the decision to wait years for the third one to come out? That was a bad decision.
Oh, when did the second one come out?
The second one came out in
20 years after the first one.
Yeah.
I don't
You know
when the
what?
first
You're
one came
right.
out. It was just recent.
Yeah, 2022 was the second one.
Yeah.
3 years later? Come on, man.
Yeah.
It filmed them at the same time.
It feels like it came out last year, to be honest.
Listen,
I didn't watch either way, but-
Remember, we were in New York Comic Con when.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So.
listen. That what to your point, Magic Mike. This was the big trailer of all the trailers.
Yeah.
and it was like, man, okay, let's start. Let's go ahead. Let's start the movie.
All right. Yeah, you're right. So, you guys want to dig into the movie? Is that what we want to do?
Let's dig into the movie.
Let's dig it in.
Game God, it's just beard. I made my beard itch.
Oh yeah.
I had to scratch it.
Scratch it, man. Scratch it.
This is a little one. So we got
Just need a little toothpick to get in there.
yeah, just shape it out.
Yep.
Floss it, Yeah. All right, so let's see if we got what else by the way, if you haven't checked out last week's podcast, you want to go check that out. bitmapbooks.com. We talked about Bitmap Books on the last week's podcast. Very cool. So this is kind of your intro to the spoiler of Fantastic Four. So if you haven't seen it, shouldn't be listening to this podcast yet. When you do see it, hit this podcast on and let's get started.
Yeah.
All right, my first comment about this movie is before I get all of you before Game God ruins it and jumps right to the end and stuff like that.
That was first of all, it was Magic Mike the last time, but not me.
He did. But everywhere in this movie, when it started, from the very beginning to the very end, I'm like, oh yeah, podcast for sci-fi logos everywhere. I love it. So,
Great marketing team.
I actually thought I went to the wrong movie because I thought I was getting ready to watch a podcast.
Yeah, you were like, this is us. We're watching ourselves.
Finally, it released. That's what I was thinking to myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I actually like all the seeing the Fantastic Four on the big screen is kind of just warms my heart because it reminds me of a podcast for sci-fi. So that's what I want to say about that. Now, to start this movie off, let me just start it. This is I've got probably three top things about this movie that I love.
Okay.
And then I've got three probably bottom things, maybe 4 or 5. But there's three top things I love. The first and probably the most important is the logo. The second thing that I love about this movie is the time frame that they put it in.
Yes.
I think
what was that 65, 1965?
The 60s and Earth, 686 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
818, but okay.
No, is it 818?
Yeah.
818 or 818.
Or is it 838?
Or it could be 828.
Yeah, it's one of those 8s.
Anyway, I love the time frame they put in the 60s, but with higher tech, like the original comic. I just think that's awesome because it felt good. It felt like, okay, I can buy that. That's one of my complaints in all these movies that the tech doesn't seem,
doesn't fit.
I can't buy it for the time frame that you put it in. So if you put it in today's world, it should fit today's tech. Now, if you put it in the future world, then I get it. But don't put it in today's technology and then have you get what I'm saying. So this is another universe, another Earth. This is in the 60s, but you have some advanced tech, and only they have it. But the advanced tech looks old school, like you're watching the original Star Trek. Yep. I love that because it felt right for the movie to me.
Agreed.
I'm not going to tell you my third thing yet. Let's go.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
You're going to keep on going.
I figured the third would be the logo.
Yeah, closing out with the logo.
That's still number one, Magic Mike. Sorry.
So I'll go next. So I'll tell you the first thing that's on the top of my list is I didn't see the movie in trailers. So I was excited that all the trailers was probably the first 30 minutes of the movie. and so considering it was a 2-hour movie, that's a good thing. So I was happy for that, and I didn't realize that till we got to the end, right? So I got to the end, I realized, oh man, I didn't see most of this movie, and that's because I felt like when we watched Superman, I saw all of Superman in trailers.
The entire piece, yeah.
Right? So I saw that. Number 2, I liked how we just jumped into it. Like we didn't get this backstory of who the Fantastic Four. It was said in passing. Yeah,
Small,
it was like like in like flashbacks. I like how we just jumped in. They're already saving the world and doing all that stuff. And I love the callback to a lot of the no name or like some of the Mole Man, Red Ghost. I can't remember that.
Well, you know,
like,
that was supposed to be part of the beginning was Red Ghost, and he really wasn't.
So there was
they cut that.
So thanks, Magic Mike, for spoiling my third one. But okay, we'll keep going.
That was your third one?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, John Malkovich was cut from it. He was Red Ghost. And amongst the other bunch of other scenes that if you look back at them and you say, oh, they should have left that in because it'll make sense. But the third thing is that I did like Galactus. I thought Galactus didn't. I thought he was going to be a little cheesy.
Jump right to the end. Oh my goodness.
No, Galactus
I
is
know.
in it.
Yeah,
Galactus is in it. Come on. But I did like what Galactus looked like. So those are my three things, and then we can dive into the specifics. But what you got, Magic Mike?
So mine are very similar, but I will tell you this. Mine is more similar to yours, Game God, which is we did not see the movie in the trailer. And even more to that, I did not expect the movie to go the way that it did, which I thought was great. And that's what made it a great surprise. Because since you brought up Mole Man, you had mentioned before you thought he was going to be like one of the main bad guys. He was only in it for a short time, and they show how he is defeated quickly, and they move on past it, which I thought was great because I don't want to see Mole Man as a main bad guy, which is what Marvel has done lately. They've been picking smaller bad guys to be main bad guys, and so that part I really liked about not the lack of picking exactly what was going to happen. That's not usual nowadays. The other I'm not want to share. I'm going to share yet, Moose, because to your point, I'm not sure if I'm ready to talk about it. But because I'll say this, because this is a spoiler episode, absolutely.
Yeah,
so I'm just going to go ahead and say this piece of it.
Okay, go ahead.
The main bad guy is not who you think it is, and the reason why is because of what we'll talk about later, which is the after credit scenes, which is what they did. Marvel did early on with Thanos. They did this with showing this is where we're headed. This is just part of what we're doing. I thought that part was great. It's exactly what we got from the early Marvel movies. And so to me, I enjoyed that piece of it. And the third one I'm going to save to last as well because ours might be the same.
Nah, I mean, look, the movie started off, I got to tell you, like you said, Magic Mike jumped right into it, or I don't know who said it, but jumped right into it and kind of got underway. Some backstory there a little bit, but not too much. Enough to go, oh, okay, yeah, I remember all that. Like they didn't. You spent 3 minutes on it versus 30.
Correct.
Yeah.
But what they did spend 30 minutes on was building the characters. Now, was this intentional? Was this intentional to say we're introducing these characters to a new audience, so we have to build for you to like them? Because one of the things I didn't like about the movie was I didn't see enough action. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that it has to be full of action, because we got a lot of action with Silver Surfer and Human Torch. That's the most action we got in the whole movie. Okay, but I didn't think that. I thought it'd spend a lot of time. Like I think if you weren't careful enough, you could have seen this movie as a regular movie. Like this wasn't a superhero movie. This is a regular movie. One might say it was a chick flick because of that. I'm serious, because of the way that it built the storyline around Sue Storm and about the baby and all of those things that made the movie real or humanized that movie and kind of I think grounded it by all means. But I think that that people who didn't know, or specifically ladies who did not know that this was a superhero movie per se, they enjoyed it more because they related more.
I think that's a great point, Moose. Absolutely. Here's what else that I would say to that, though. Not just a chick flick piece, but I would. What?
Go ahead.
I'm speaking out of school, aren't I? My apologies. Anyway, you want to go, Game God?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's
anyway.
1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 1. Okay,
1, 2, 1. Sorry. No, Moose will be next. So I saw a different perspective of that, Moose. I saw myself from Mr. Fantastic's perspective, which was
I get it.
that being the father and seeing what's going on with your family. And one of the things that we said we were concerned about was because we had heard, are they going to make everybody else as smart as Mr. Fantastic? There were some things that happened in the movie, but I can tell you that's not what happened. No, that's not what happened, though. Absolutely not. What I got from it was he was so focused on trying to solve the bigger problem, he was just missing some of the smaller details. And once, let's just say, they started coming to him, Johnny Storm said, "Hey, what about this?" Then he said, "Yes, that's true. And then he figured out all the math. He did all that stuff. I just think he was preoccupied with the bigger picture, and so I felt like that's not where they went with it.
You know, I'm totally on board with you, Magic Mike. I feel quite the opposite, Moose. I thought that's what you didn't probably like was made this movie good. And I tell you why, because I think that the past couple of superhero movies, all we got was action and a lot of CG of it, a lot of there was no substance to it. So to your point, Magic Mike, I think like when you look at Reed Richards, when you look at Mr. Fantastic, he was a dad. He's being a dad. And he got caught in the dad moment, and his wife Sue Storm had to tell him, "Hey, you're thinking it. That's how dare you think of that?" You know, like she had to check him a little bit. And so I love that piece of it. I also love the fact that they did not make them overly powerful, right? And so when you look at that piece there, you know, and I know where you gave me the hand and the finger, and I know where you're gonna go with this, but like when they first meet Galactus, that's when they realize, like, oh man, we can't stop this guy, right? And I think that was a great moment as well. And the realism for like Human Torch, he needed oxygen, he was running out of, like, all that stuff was pretty cool. And I'll even say, it's probably leans into that chick flick world a little bit, is even the birth of Franklin. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty epic in a Marvel world. It made it look good. It felt very human. Now, to go full circle, Sue Storm at the end, I was like, I know that there's an argument that can be made that she has
one of the most powerful.
Yep, there's an argument.
I want to let me pause here, guys.
No, go ahead, take it, because me and you on the same wavelength here.
Now we're gonna go backwards a little bit, mini podcast back. Okay. And I said long time ago that Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, from the Fantastic Four, is one of the most powerful beings in.
And I know when you said this is when we were doing the heroes versus hero bracket.
Right. Yes, remember? And I said, nope, she can. She has the ability to create the force field that is beyond. You know,
I argued with you with it.
You did.
I remember?
You did. Yeah. So you saw a little bit of this come out in this movie, and I'm like, and I was sitting with someone specialist in this movie theater, and I was like, "Hey, you haven't seen anything yet." I said, "They're touching on it here." I said, "So if they go forward in this movie, in this business, you're going to see her really be super strong, because she is."
And just to add, Moose, there's the mother element to it, right? So, you know, they always say, you know, mother can pick up a car if it's, you know, to save her child kind of deal, like that kind of superhuman strength.
Yeah.
That's the other piece that touched into it. And I love the fact that it wasn't like she did it and she stopped and she's good, right? Like there was a sacrifice there. And I think they needed to show that, because there's two things that happened there. Her level of power, and the fact of the matter is that Franklin is an omega level threat mutant.
Right. Yes. Right.
And that's the piece that if you don't know that, you're like, who's this child?
Yeah. Okay. So I listen, I'm not saying that, because I said that the story grounded it. And so I think it needed it, but I felt like it may have been too much and not enough action. I'm not saying the thing should have been full of action, but you didn't see a lot of the powers. Like, you didn't see Mr. Fantastic really show his powers at all. And so I was kind of disappointed in that. I'm not so sure how it could have, you know, what you could have done with it per se. I didn't write the story, but what I am saying is that you didn't see enough of it. You didn't see enough of the Thing either. I thought that he was underused in this movie. Matter of fact,
when you think about it, though, what can they do against Galactus? Though they really can't do anything against Galactus.
I understand. I get it.
Well,
none of them can really do anything against Galactus if you think about it. So that's the purpose of Galactus. but I just thought that it wasn't a real attempt. They try to humanize the Thing a lot too, with the school and the teacher and whatnot.
But it felt like they've tried to do that with every Fantastic Four movie, if you think about it. Which I get what they're trying to do, but no, I would like to have seen him do a little more. He helps at the end, quote unquote, saving the world. But yeah, and what for the other point, Moose, of you're saying how strong Sue Storm is. What people also have to realize, even though Galactus is an eternal power being, when he's at his weakest point when he's starving, and he says at one point he is starving,
right.
And I think that's what helps catalyze everything, where it's pushing her power, it's diminishing his power, because he's brought himself down to earth and he's hungry and he can't get what he wants, and so that's what she's able to do that. And it's still, even then, she needs the Thing's help at the end. So it felt like that they still work together as a team. They felt like the Fantastic Four coming together. And then at the final piece of that was when they didn't do anything to Galactus. They just pushed him somewhere else, which to me shows you that, because other times people they would have got rid of Galactus.
Destroy him, right.
Exactly. And we know that's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree exactly what you're saying there. I love the fact that you're pushing him outside of it. Just when you thought he was through, he wasn't, and so I thought that was good. Game God, you mentioned how Franklin was born and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's good, because that stress, we can relate to that kind of stress as a human, and putting it on the body, and what it would do, and I love all of that. Now there is a point of contention I have with a couple of things, and the first point is, the baby was so so CGI, that at some points it just not look, just didn't look real enough.
That's always an issue though with CGI, right? I think it's when you get like those real intense fight scenes that we want to see it to look like a comic book. You're like, I think they went too much.
Yeah.
So I hear you on that.
So I just felt like with all the technology we have, they could have done a better job with that piece. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm critiquing the movie. That's my job.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to go back to was, you said something else, Magic Mike, where I think it was about the Thing, and about I mentioned how they try to humanize him, but they didn't really do it in the movie, but they kind of alluded to it, like, because in the comics, he always, worried about the way he's looking and how he wants to come off more human. They always did that in the comics. So I felt like if you knew that from the comics, you got that in the movie. You understood what.
Say the thing.
So, but they just really didn't say it in the movie. So if you didn't know it in the comics, you didn't necessarily know it in the movie. So that was a fail. If you're going to spend all this time creating these characters and trying to sell it to new audiences that don't really know about the Fantastic Four, because the old Fantastic Four movie, the last one, just flopped.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Moose, to piggyback off that thought, one of the cut scenes involved developing Thing's character, and there was a scene where he was on the dating show, and he was going through, like, to your point, trying to be more human, trying to find, trying to relate to to women per se in this scene, and they picked him, right? They go, I'll take contestant number 3,
right?
And then in the clip he goes, oh, that's me, and so it's kind of funny, and he was so awkward.
Yeah. But that's how he was portrayed in the from the comic perspective, and I actually like that. I think they should have left something like that in.
Yeah, I think so too. But here's the thing I would say, just to argue that point a little bit, Moose, is I felt, and I agree with you, maybe it's because I already knew it, but I did feel like when he was talking about, I can't go out in public like this, when he was
trying to shave,
trying to
I actually
cut off
his beard, by the way.
Oh, the beard was great, but I just when he was trying to do the other stuff, and he was like, you got the sense that he was trying to do it for the public view, and so I still think that even if you weren't a Thing or a comic book person, you knew that he was still concerned about how he looked.
So let me ask you guys this: Galactus, when you finally see him, right? He's sitting down on his throne. You see, what did you think when you saw him? What, his eyes lit up, like did you feel like they nailed it?
I thought they did.
How about you, Magic Mike?
Absolutely.
Snap.
Yeah, like when his eyes lit up for me, I got goosies. I was like, ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like it was the moment for me that you finally got to see Thanos, right? And like it gave me that kind of feel. So I was like, oh wow, his epic voice. He didn't do a lot, right? Like he was just you knew he was powerful just by standing there.
Just by sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I actually like Silver Surfer in this.
Okay, let's move to Silver Surfer. Go ahead. Tell me your thoughts. You said you like Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I like Silver Surfer because they didn't do anything with her, right? And so
Perfect.
and I thought that because I was worried that they were gonna do too much, they were gonna do like she did her job. She came in as a herald. She made people scared. She did Galactus's dirty work by chasing them and trying to get and there was you can tell she has powers. Like she was quick. She was like
super fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I was like, that's great. That's all I need. Because Silver Surfer in the comics, he's a bad dude. Like this guy is he's got the power of cosmic, right?
Yeah.
So he's pretty bad dude. We didn't need it in this film. Like this wasn't the film for her, right? And I love that they kept her, so to speak, in a lane where she just did her job, and then she was only there, to be quite honest with you, to take Galactus out at the end.
Well, here would be my point too. The same point that we would make with the Thing and representing him from wanting to be human or be humanized. It felt like that they did the same thing with the Silver Surfer. If you didn't know who the Silver Surfer was in the comic books, you wouldn't have known who she was here in the same view. But I did, and we know we didn't need. So again, we didn't need that backstory. We didn't need to show all the stuff that the Silver Surfer could do. I thought she looked great. I thought she played the part perfectly because she said the right things at the right time, and it was all related. There was nothing else beyond that, and it was exactly what we expected of a Silver Surfer. This wasn't the Silver Surfer comic. This wasn't the Silver Surfer movie. This was a Fantastic Four. We knew Galactus was going to be in it, and so it was to both you guys' point. It was exactly enough.
Yeah, I definitely understand exactly what you're saying there. I also think that it was I don't know if you could see it coming at the end. I don't know if really that was the point. Towards the end of the movie where Silver Surfer reappears. At the moment, I wasn't looking for her to come back, so that was actually good. That was refreshing.
Correct.
Oh, okay, we didn't forget about her.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
And it was a good way to get rid of both of them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Because we knew that there was no way Fantastic Four was going to beat Galactus,
Not
right?
gonna happen.
And to be honest with you, they're not going to beat Silver Surfer either, right? So so you're like, because I loved how when I was watching the film and they figured out, they said, well, we'll just move to Earth. I actually thought that was the story they were going with.
That's exactly what I thought.
Did too. So
I was like,
so that was a great point inside the movie because I thought that, okay, here's what we're going to see. This is the play, but it wasn't the play.
And that was my only beef about the whole movie, by the way, Game Gods, because of how quickly they built all the portals or the whatever.
What, 30 days or something? So I get it. That's when you guys squint your eyes a little bit. But I'm like, this is exactly what we predicted. They're gonna move to Earth. And then I did not see Silver Surfer coming back and wiping out all of them. But I was like, oh man, this is not good. So then in my mind, as I'm watching, I'm like, what are they gonna do now? I'm like, then I started just thinking doom and gloom. This is a bad ending, right? They're gonna wipe everything out, right? Because I didn't think that. So when I think about that as a film, right? I the whole time I'm watching this, and even when I left the theater, I'm comparing it to Superman, right? I'm sitting there and I'm saying, man, I went solo. So I'm sitting there acting like there's people who know me in the left and right. There was nobody next to me, and I'm like, man, I didn't see this coming. I'm like, why wasn't Superman like this? Like I just felt like it kept me engaged with little action, right? To your point. The story, there was an actual story.
There was a story. Which I give them all that credit to say that at least you had a story.
Because let's be honest, before we watched it, we thought we saw the movie.
We did.
Okay, yeah.
We thought we saw the movie. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm at 2/3 of this movie I didn't see. I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
And so then when I left the theater that day, I said to myself, this hands down, this beats Superman. Hands down, this beats Superman. Only because I did not know any of this stuff,
Yeah.
and I feel good the way they left it. And you mentioned the end credit scenes. You want to spoil it and say what it is?
we can talk about the end credit scenes, but I definitely want to say that all the things that I said earlier, like it being a chick flick movie or like something like that, those aren't to take away from it.
No,
those are to add to it, of saying that you might not know anything and go see this movie and say, "Oh, that's a pretty good movie. I didn't expect it to be that good," because it had a story. It had a story, and it had an emotional attachment. They had some emotional attachments. You could, you like, for what it's worth, Sue Storm, I felt her emotion. She sold it. I was a buyer, and I think the most of the movie, it was able to do that.
You mentioned, Moose, you were with someone special to watch it, right?
Yeah.
And so my someone special came with me to watch Superman.
Right.
And the reason why they came to watch Superman is because when they saw the trailer, they saw the daughter, like, oh, I can relate to this, right?
Right.
They pulled them in. I tried to get them to come watch Fantastic Four. When I came home, I said, you actually missed a better movie. You would have related to this better.
You would like this one a lot better.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Because what they told me, the reason why they weren't going is because they saw the trailer and they said,
Right.
"Oh, this is like a nerd movie. I don't want to watch this."
Right.
That's what they told me. And so I say all this to say, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was well done. It did a good job.
Before you get to the very end, the
end credit.
end credits, I can tell you the ending was not what I expected, because if you've seen the new Avengers, Thunderbolts, if you've seen that movie, at the end, if you remember, it's the Fantastic Four ship coming through.
Correct.
It looks like from another dimension. So we thought this is what we're going to see at the end.
Right.
We did not get that at the
didn't.
end,
You
and I
did
thought
not.
that was great, because I'm like, when does that happen?
I thought
what's
that's
going
the same
on?
thing. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, Magic Mike. Yeah.
So we get to the end. We get to the end credits. It is 4 years later, is it, fellas? I don't
think
remember.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
it's 4 years
4 years.
old. Franklin's a toddler.
Yeah. Still, 4-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we recognize that his, they make a little comment that his favorite book is some hard reading book, like, and then they say, no, not that one. You love that one. We're going to go and do like the butterfly
like
or something like
Seuss
that.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And you hear like you hear, like, I was like, uh-oh. So by the way, had no clue this was going to be the ending.
I did
had
not
no clue.
either. Yeah.
And we get to see the man in the green cloak with the metal mask.
That's all you see.
Yeah, Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And you saw Franklin was going, like, reaching out to his face. It was like,
Yes.
right? So the question for you fellas, is Dr. Doom here to kidnap Franklin because he knows that he has the power that Galactus is looking for? Or like what is the story here? Like, so that's the piece there.
That's a good question. Magic Mike, you want to try?
He's absolutely there to take Franklin, because he's Doctor Doom. He's not the good guy. He is the bad guy. He's there to take him and use his power to train the boy up to be able to use it for his purposes. That's exactly what he's there for.
I don't know if he's going to take him, but he certainly has nefarious actions with the kid. Sample his DNA. Like, I don't know what he's looking for specifically, but certainly to use him somehow.
Well, I'll tell you this: in the comic books, Galactus and Franklin have a lot of encounters together in the comic books, to the point where Galactus is the herald for Franklin at one point, right? So just so you kind of know what kind of powers we're dealing with here. So is Dr. Doom trying to get to him before Galactus? Or trying to, so there's a lot of things there. I love that this is the recipe, right?
Yeah.
This is now they don't have the time, right?
They don't have
to
the
do
time.
this,
Yeah.
right? We need like maybe 3 more movies in between to allow this to marinate a little bit.
Yeah, you got to let it build. Yeah.
But the end game is Secret Wars, which is supposed to be ran by Dr. Doom on some battle planet. Right, that's the end game, right? I do love that they did this in 828. Did you notice in the press conference there was nobody representing where Dr. Doom was from? So is it because Dr. Doom didn't want to be a part of that? Like Tavia, I don't know if that's how you say it.
Yeah.
So there's some questions there. But at the end of the day, love the way they ended it with this end credit. This is the buzz we need. This is what we've been missing for the last 5 years, 4 years, whatever it's been, right? And I get it. We're not going to get 9 movies in between from here to Secret Wars, but let this slow burn.
We should, though.
We should.
We should.
Let it slow burn. Let it slow burn.
Listen, if I'm not mistaken, I know for a fact I bought the original comics, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was probably a 12-issue miniseries to get to the end of Secret Wars, and it was awesome. So I think you got to do the same kind of thing here with movies, because if not, then it comes too fast.
Yeah, but it's too late to do that right now, Moose. They've already scheduled Secret Wars.
I understand. All I'm
you
saying
can push
is,
movies back.
is it if you can push back Avatar 20 years and maybe movies back 20 years.
Knew that was gonna make it full circle.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I just think that's the way to do it. Like, that's to set it right. And in game, when we talk about the Avengers and Infinity War and the way that things happen there, it was because of that slow build, and you wanted to see what was coming. You wanted to see what's the next. Oh, I can't wait for the next one.
Yes.
I can't wait for the next one.
I left the theater feeling that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there were some bad ones in between. Absolutely, Iron Man 3, which we try to push out of our
Yeah,
minds.
but that wasn't the same.
That's
that wasn't
okay.
the same type phase, though.
No. My point only being is that's okay. You can draw it out. There may be a couple of bad ones in there, but draw it out. Let's see the good stuff. Get the story. all out.
So the big question, fellas, did it beat Superman's opening weekend?
Okay.
What do you think?
That's the question.
That is the big
We've been talking about
question.
this for a month. Will it beat it? And I don't know the numbers, but what I'm gonna tell you is I'm gonna guess that it didn't. What Superman do? What Superman do? I can't.
No,
remember.
you can't tell you the numbers. It's
Come on,
just
tell me.
it's just
Help me
no. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not helping you out.
Was it 130?
Commit, baby. Commit.
130.
Commit.
I'm gonna
If
say
he
it
didn't-
did.
you know he-
It did. It did. Beat
Okay, you say it did. Magic Mike.
I want to say that it did, but I also think that, to your point, where you couldn't get somebody to go see Fantastic Four after Superman, I don't think that it did. I think it might have been close, but I don't think it did because people did not like Superman as much.
Good point.
Okay,
Magic Mike.
so we got
I gave
one
Superman-
yes.
I gave Superman a 4, by the way, just a reminder.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do
King
we
God,
give
now
it?
we were
Fives?
4.5. We were 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So Moose says yes, it beat it. Magic Mike says no, it didn't. Superman beat Fantastic Four. All right, guys. Here it goes. Fantastic Four domestic opening, just domestic, 118 million.
Came in short. Came in short.
Right. Domestic for Superman was 122.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Wait a minute. International. So Fantastic Four international did 100 million, and
That's not enough.
Superman did 95.
Oh, really? So
Yes.
apples to apples, net, it's about the same.
It's about even. But we always
Fantastic
do.
Four is
we always
beating
do
it by
domestic.
$1 million.
Wow. Yeah. But
So-
error of margin, though, would say that's same.
that's
It's
even.
pretty
Yeah.
flat, right?
Net,
It's pretty
yeah.
flat.
Yep.
Now here's the deal. Does Fantastic Four have the legs to come in the second weekend and be good? Because Superman only dropped 54% in the second weekend.
Wow.
I'm gonna say no. And I love the story. I think it's a better movie by far, but I'm gonna say no based on Superman has a name, been around for years. Fantastic Four does not have that same name in the same circles. I think Superman's circle of influence is larger than the Fantastic Four's circle of influence to go see a movie.
Magic Mike?
You
I
you
think-
said it yourself. Yeah, like
think
Magic Mike's point.
Yeah, I think Moose, you're right, unfortunately. But I think what'll happen is Fantastic Four will go down, and it'll go down as one of the best,
Okay.
underestimated movies because of that. And so and the problem is we might miss out on future movies because of it.
Listen, I hate to say it, I think it'll be Superman.
I hope so.
I
hope
think
you're right.
I think the second way. I know all three of us want it to because it is
Yeah.
the better movie.
Yeah.
I think it'll deliver. It won't be anything blockbuster. It'll be just slightly. It'll be a couple coins. I will tell you, this is probably the best Fantastic Four cast that they put together out of all the Fantastic Four
I was
movies.
really surprised that I liked the Fantastic.
Sue Storm did it. Sue
She
Storm did it for me.
I was an iffy on her in the commercials and then trailer.
Yes.
And
She
seeing the
sold
movie,
it.
it's like, oh no, she was the strong. She was the I don't know. She wasn't the weak link in the Fantastic Four.
She
No.
was not.
in Fantastic Four previous movies, it was always pushed by Mr. Fantastic and Thing. Like they were always the ones that kind. And here it was
just the opposite.
It was the opposite.
Yeah.
Human Torch and Sue.
Yeah.
So and they played off the sibling thing as well.
And I thought Human Torch was just enough as well. It wasn't too much, wasn't too little. It was
really
just
did
right.
just enough, didn't he? He really did.
Absolutely.
I was hoping they wouldn't go over the top with that,
Yeah.
and they did not. And I was really surprised that they didn't, but I was happy that they didn't.
Yeah.
So
Well, you think it would because right off the beginning, he just flames right by. I'm like, oh, here we go, here we go.
Yeah.
This is sweep the leg from Cobra Kai. You know, it's like that's the first thing I'm thinking of. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
So what's your ranking, Game God? What's your ranking?
You know what? I'm glad you asked me. I thought long and hard on this. Right?
7.5.
Yeah. Why? First of all, why did Moose move to the left? And it's like he's adding like an extra recording there. Like he's touching a whole bunch of buttons here. I'm like, all right. So I thought obviously 7.5 lives with me, right? It's somewhere.
Come on,
right?
Come on, let me see. Let me hear the final score. Stop teasing.
I'm gonna have to give Fantastic Four First Steps an 8.
I don't believe he just said that.
Endgame. Better than Endgame is what he said.
Better than Endgame.
Better than Endgame.
Better than Endgame.
You are out of your mind.
Yes,
Gosh,
it's better than Endgame. Better than my Endgame ranking. Let's put it that way.
I don't even understand that.
But I give it an 8. I thought about it. I couldn't give it a 7.5. I thought this was better than Endgame for me.
It was coming.
Wow.
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming.
Considering what I gave Superman,
Game God's not one for stories. That's what's crazy about this.
I know it must be the age. I must be catching up to you guys. I give it an 8. I went back and forth. Is it a 7? Is it a 7.5? It's definitely not higher than an 8. I don't think it's less than a 7. Listen, this was a conversation with myself for at least 30 minutes. I'm like, the fellas are going to ask me. I'm going to get quizzed.
Yep.
And there's going to be some sound effects that come with it.
Yeah,
I predicted all of this, right? I predicted all of this. I'm Mr. Fantastic. I try to get to the people before they hurt me.
That's good.
An 8. I stand by it.
Wow.
Hot take.
All right, Moose. What you got?
Oh, you going with me? Listen, I thought it was good. I thought it could have been better. I enjoyed a lot of things about it. I have my complaints, but I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's a good movie.
Okay.
Yep.
7's respectable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mike?
I'm going to land right there with Moose. I gave it a 7 as well. And
right.
With us talking, I might even give it like a 7.25. But I give it a 7 for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I can't wait for it to stream. I'd watch it again on streaming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic Four.
I just can't believe they ripped their logo off of us like that.
I know.
What are you gonna do?
Can we speak to the lawyers about that? Can we speak to the lawyers?
By the way, we might have a new logo coming to the table for some of our social media pieces because I feel like that I'd like to receive a cease and desist letter from them. I just feel like that would be warranted, and I would post that on social media as well. Yeah, like that. It's just like that. Yeah, come on.
Absolutely.
Help me out.
So so I feel like a good retro. We talked about retro gaming last week. We talked about the book from bitmapbooks.com.
Yes.
The retro book of gaming. We have now the Fantastic Four, the retro feel. I feel like we got to make a retro logo, and we need to use it. We need to utilize it. So
let's do it. 8-bit.
Yeah, 8-bit. Yep, that's what I'm serious. We should have an 8-bit a trailer or intro too. What do you think?
No, that'd be great.
Would you be in charge of that, Game Guy? Would you put one together for us?
No, I got the sound effect for it.
Oh, nice. Oh, thank you, Herbie. We appreciate it. Hey,
Copyrighted.
thanks for listening to the podcast. Next week, we will not be here, but we do have some cool stuff coming. So we have some really cool tech coming. Speaking of retro, it's new/retro. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Come join us. Follow us on social media.
I was just leaving.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.